Hi everyone, so I just recently got back from my cruise, as you might know if you've watched any of my other videos over the weekend, and just want to get back into crafting, and I think it's going to be really fun to use the Die and Press Today Special. That is not the Today Special anymore, it was the HSN Today Special on August 13th, so hope you guys tuned in, check those out, you know, several videos out there on it, and if not, I will link those videos in the description box. And I did use the kit here and there, you know, during other reviews for other items, so you'll see it kind of interspersed there, so you can check those out too. I think with the Christmas Cardinal Christmas, I think with the confetti paste. There's a couple other ones, but those are the ones that are on top of my mind right now. The videos I made for those things where this guy appeared. And so it is still available as a single ship though, and I'll have that linked in the description box, again possibly within the video embedded here. It would be to the Today Special there, which is now just the Mega Watercolor Kit, I believe is what they're calling it. And that would be an affiliate link, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you for doing that if you would like. This does also fit in the bag. I just had it out, so I just left it out. So I didn't, in the video I was like, should I put it back in the bag? So bring it out of the bag to show it to you, but you guys know. So we are going to use our watercolors today. I think what I'm going to do is show you a couple ways to make a wash. It's just making a simple background. You know, maybe you pick this up and you're not super familiar with watercolors, or maybe you like them, but you're still a little like, daunting, it's a little daunting for you, something like that. We're just gonna make some backgrounds and then pop a sentiment on top, I think is what we will do. So I do have the add-on water brushes. To be honest, I didn't check to see if that is still available or not, but I do want to make a wash, so I'm gonna use the larger brush. But if you're using the one that is in this Today Special, this guy, it just takes a little bit longer because it's just a smaller barrel. Yeah, the brush itself. So I'll probably use that. But again, you can do the exact same thing with this guy. I might just spray some water with the water bottle also to show you what that might look like, a little bit different. So we'll do a few different backgrounds. I do have some paper here. I think I'm gonna get some A2 size paper instead of just cutting this down. Yeah, I think that's all we'll need for right now. So I will be right back. I will quickly show you the A2 size paper I have is from the previous set that Die and Press had put out whenever they had put out some other watercolor sets, I don't know, months ago. But I just want to show you that it does look different from the newer ones. This is more creamy and this is more of like a white, almost a little gray tint to it. So having said that, I don't know if this is the one that you're going to be getting right now when you order it, or if you order it, because they do have different sizes of A2 that are already cut down, like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. They have 5 by 7, and then they have 8 1/2 by 11 papers, and I'll link all those. So yours might look different. I just don't know if they went to this material or however, right? Because this is from the previous set. A couple ways to make washes, super easy. And I'm talking about washes, so you really do want to get some water on here. So just, you know, I haven't chosen what colors I'm going to use because I wasn't thinking about that. It doesn't really matter. It's going to look pretty either way. I guess it depends on what your subject is, right? So just put some water on there, right? And then just dip into your colors. I mean, I don't know. Let's go, you know, I like purples and pinks. Let's bring some purple, maybe some of this darker purple. And it's very wet already, so it's going to be a very ethereal, very light kind of wash, you know. Oh, where did I put my little sponge? If I have my little sponge, I can wipe this off on that. But I don't have it here, so I'm just going to go from there. Let me wipe some of that off into like this pink. And again, I'm not squeezing this anymore because I already have a lot of water on my paper here, so I don't really need it to have any more water. That is going to be very light once it dries and very ethereal. So if you want to build it up a little bit more, just add a little more color, okay? Because what you're seeing here, it's always going to be lighter by the time you dry it. And I usually don't try to cover the whole thing, like there's some white here, and that just looks prettier. So that's just kind of the thing I do. Let me grab a paper towel, be right back. Sorry, my kids came down and my husband went to work, and anyway, alright. Just gonna wipe that down, wipe this down. And this already started drying, it's been a couple minutes, but I generally hit it with a heat tool, so that's what I'm going to do. Just grab this guy and hit it with a heat tool. And if you have a lot of water or like a lot of color, you can start moving around with this, just like if you were playing with like alcohol ink, you know, kind of on Yupo paper, that kind of thing. But this was, you know, I kept it pretty minimal, so I'll just dry that. I'll be back. completely dry yet because I only did this for a few seconds, but that's essentially what it's going to look like. So I still have a little moisture. What I like to do when I'm drying with the heat tools, I'll turn it over after this is pretty dry, and I'll hit the back because the water does go through to the back sometimes, and just keep doing that. And there's that. So that's one way of doing a wash. Another way, again, is just spraying it with a spray bottle or whatever it is, just to get the paper wet, right? And maybe you're not going everywhere with that. And let's try some other colors. I don't know, maybe something more fall looking. I do have my little swatch here, and maybe the raw sienna, something like that. Maybe looking more like a tea dye kind of thing. And you don't have to do two colors. I mean, I can just do that. And you got water on there that way, right? So another quick one, and kind of more centralized, just so that maybe I put a little die cut or something right here, or do a stamping there, or just add something that way. So that's good too. You can also pick up color, like if you want a little bit less. I really like the way this looks, to be honest. I don't want to mess with it. But if you want to take some color where you see it just picks it up and it's gone. You know, whatever it is that you like, but I want to put that back. Okay, so I'm going to hit that with a heat tool, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was trying to show you in the last little bit there was moving the color around, because there was a lot of water on this. I was able to kind of move around. You can see how it just kind of did its own thing, and it dried in different stages, so it's really cool. One other thing you know, I've shown you many times, and I'm sure you've seen many times in other videos. Oh, let me get some more water in this. I'll be right back. So then add some splatters, right? So with something like this, it doesn't have to be black splatters, but that's just typical. I mean, you can dip into whatever color you like. I'll probably still do black because that's just the color I like to do this with. So you want it really, really watery, lots of liquid on there, enough to, I'm not squeezing anymore. I just squeeze it to get the color on there. And you just do your splatters. Right? That looks good. We'll squeeze that. Yeah, I've been using this so much that I used the whole barrel of water that I had put in there. It lasts a long time, but I've been doing quite a bit. Okay, so you can clean up. You can wash this off later. I will say, if there are some really strong pigmented colors, you might get a little of that on here, like you can still see it. I would just wash it with an actual like cleaner. But there you go. So you have some little splatters. You have this one where we did, these are both wet on wet techniques because the paper was wet, and then we added obviously our wet water brush, right? Obviously. A couple of the ways, I mean, these are again more easy ways. You can get your water, you can get your spray and put it on a surface. I'm going to use a silicone mat because I have it, but if you just wanted to use like plastic or something larger that you have that can do this, just add some water, and I have plenty of water here, right? And then just come in with some color. I don't know. I'm going to go with green. This is also going to be very light depending on how pigmented you do this. So green, and what else? I don't know. Purple? We already did purple, didn't we? Okay, let's do navy. Let's get some of that color going and just kind of add it in here. And just kind of all over the place. And then you can bring your paper, and now this is dry paper, wet. You can see it's kind of popping around the edges there. And you can pick that up. And it's very pretty and very cool. And I showed you this recently, I think. Then you can do is hit this with a heat tool so it dries. Then we're going to dip it in that same color again. So I'm just going to dry it. I mean, that looks amazing just like that. Honestly, I love that. I mean, it looks like paper that you purchased, right? That's already cool like that. All right, and you can do it again, and you can switch up the areas, but I still want to keep it kind of where we were. So let's do a little green there, and then maybe I'll pick it up and get a little more blue down here. And it just, intensifies the colors, does a little more if you want, a little more, you know, wherever. This is just really fun. So I'm going to hit this with the heat tool again, and I'm going to leave it just like this. This looks amazing. So heat tool. So this is dry paper, so wet on dry, you know, wet on wet. There's different ways to do this. You can take your color right to your dry paper too. We'll do that next. I always love wet on wet, to be honest, but this looks really cool. I love this way of doing dry paper with your wet watercolor, where you just kind of put it on your surface and go from there. But I will dry that, and then like I said, if you know, go to clean this up and you get some staining because of the pigments, I would definitely just hit it with an actual cleanser, because they are pigmented, guys, and that's the whole point, right, to get your colors. So a little blue, a little greenish there. Alright, let me hit that with a heat tool and I'll be back. So, I mean, that looks awesome. So we made these guys. This guy's still a little bit wet because I didn't really dry it too much. I just wanted to move to the next one. Another thing, dry paper, and just coming in with your color, right? So your brush is wet. Now, I am going to use one of the brushes just to show you that, because I haven't done that. I'll use maybe this one because this is a 5x7 piece of paper, and so I want to get some color down. You can definitely use your water brush and do the exact same thing, okay? And dry paper, wet is what we're going to do. And I think I'll just do like a rainbow kind of thing for you guys. Of course, you can use the pearlescence. I keep focusing on these guys, but whatever it is that you like. And so let's see. So bright red. This paper is dry, so it's going to take it in a little bit differently, right? It's not as ethereal looking. And then also, if you want to really, let me get some a little more water, how saturated you want it, right? That you can pretty much control that. So let's say red, and let's go right into orange. And I'm going to go back and forth a little bit because your brush is going to be more saturated as, you know, as soon as you dip it and you put it down. So maybe go in the opposite direction the next time. And you can also kind of work the colors back and forth if you want to blend them. I was just going to kind of keep them separate, but now that I'm doing that, maybe we do need to blend them a little bit. I'm going to go into my yellow. So we're just making some fun backgrounds, so hopefully, you know, you'll jump right in. I'm assuming you're going to be receiving them very soon. I know I ordered mine. And it's shipped already. I don't have it in my hot little hands quite yet. Okay, and then green. We have different greens. So with the red, orange, yellow, we have those, you know, more basic. And then you have a few different greens. So just whatever you think is good. I'm gonna go. Oopsie, I was gonna go with the middle green color. And you can definitely wet your paper and do this, and it's gonna spread out in a different way, right? So we're controlling it more this way. If you have a stamped image, you probably don't want to wet it afterwards, because when you go to color it, it's going to be wet, and then your color is going to spread out. Unless that's what the look you're looking for, like more ethereal, then go for it. But I would, you know, do my background or whatever, or not any background. Do your stamped image, then just go with, you know, your water brush and start coloring in, as opposed to wetting the whole paper and then start coloring, because then it's just going to probably spread outside the lines. Blue, let's do the sky blue. So I still have a little green on here from before, and that's fine. And again, you can add a little more. If you want to dilute the color, like I just did, just get more water, or if you're using your water brush, just squeeze it, right? And maybe a little more blue, because the red's really saturated up there. So, and one of the purples. Let's go with this one. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm not trying to... I wasn't even really trying to blend them. I just went from one color to the other. But you can go back and kind of blend them more if that's what you want to do. But that's that. So just dry paper, wet, obviously watercolor, and there you go. I'm going to hit that with a heat tool, clean up a little bit, and I will be right back. Clean up again. I just do this. If you want to do a little bleach, a little, you know, Clorox wipe, you can definitely do that to help you get rid of some of the pigments. With this thing, you know, it's still wet. I literally just, and again, we have the palette to play with. I just put that back on there. It's no big deal. And then just close it all up. I think I'm done with the watercoloring, so yeah, I can put everything away. You don't have to dump the water from that. Just leave it there. It's fine. and I'll be back. Okay guys, so we have these guys, and again I hit them with a heat tool, so they get a little wonky. They get a little wonky anyway, even if you just let them dry on their own. I don't think I dried this one, but it's ready to go. And this one, I mean, it's all the different looks. Again, these are more wet on wet. This was wet on dry papers, and different ways of getting that color on there. They're all really pretty. So I wanted to show you a couple things. You know, you can just take this, pop your sentiment on there as a background, you know, it'd be really lovely. You can also just make another background with this, maybe a stamp background or something. So I'm gonna look at the stamps that are in here. I am so happy that I got on this auto ship. It is so cute. Let's see. Maybe something like this one. You can take the ink that's in the kit. You can take whatever ink you have, because I'm not going to add any more liquid to this. I'm just going to stamp. You can put it in a stamping platform, of course, if you're a little afraid here. But I'm just going to use my VersaFine. You can definitely use the black ink that is in the kit. Oh, you know what? I better put something else behind here. Sorry, I just don't want to put black ink all over this and then have to clean that up. So that's inked up, and you can just come in and stamp wherever you like, right? So we're just making like a background. Just if you're doing freehand, you want to make sure that you're touching everywhere. At the same time, this is kind of artsy, so if you miss a spot, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay. Make sure that has ink, and then maybe just another part of this over here. It's the very corner, so pretty. And then maybe over here. Make sure we have ink all over. Just gonna meet that up here, maybe. Oopsie. I'm going to pull this and hopefully not move it. This silicone mat has a little lip on it, and the back of my stamp positioner here, or stamping block, stayed up on top. Okay. Yeah, this one's larger, so I'm just making sure I have that everywhere. Looks good. And again, maybe a different little portion of this guy. So I'm just kind of turning it where I want it to be. So you just make a quick background, pop on a die cut sentiment, a stamp sentiment, you know, whatever it is you like. You have that, and it's very pretty, right? So nice background. With this one, I'm going to get a stamp positioner, so I'll be right back. Wishing you a happy day right in the center, but honestly my plan for this one was to go ahead and stamp that somewhere else and then cut it down. So I'll stamp it around there so you can see what that looks like, and then maybe I'll stamp it again with what I was thinking about doing. So that will work. Just so if you want something quick, you know, fun, it's artsy. I probably should stick that down a little bit better, but I probably won't. Oh, you know what? I also want it this way. I guess either way is fine. Hope that sticks down. I don't know. And I'm just eyeballing that. Let's put one more little piece of tape. Maybe up here. Okay, and again I'll stamp that. Oh great. Your emergency vehicle, but hold on, I'll just do this. I'll be right back. That's so cute and pristine, and I love it. How cute. Let me remove that very carefully. Again, this paper was wet not too long ago, so you would want to be careful when you're using washi. You don't want to take off that top layer. And I mean, that's really cute, right? It's a nice big card. So what I'm going to do is trim this down a little bit. You can also take a die. You have a die for like an A2 or something, mini slimline. You can cut it that way too. So, you know, maybe we'll do a mini slimline. Yeah, that'll be good, because this is 5x7 and I can cut it down to 3 3/8 by 5 7/8. I like my mini slimlines 3.5 by 6. So anyway, I'm just going to trim off some of this and I'll be right back. Okay, I took off roughly 3/4 inch on either side because it was 5 and I wanted 3.5, but I want it a little smaller than 3.5, so it was just a little bit more than 3/4 on either side. And then I took a good chunk off the bottom, which is such a bummer because these are so cute. Look at this. I mean, you can use that as a strip on another card. That'd be cute, right? An accent piece, maybe a little border. Cute. But I'm going to take a little bit more off this and make it 5 7/8. This I can toss, I don't mind that, but these other pieces are nice and sizable. So we have that guy, and it's still very centered because of the way I did my math, and I mean, that's very cute. Or we can also stamp that maybe on a little white piece of cardstock and then line it with black. I think that'd be really cute or really pop. So I'm just going to take a piece of cardstock, just a piece of white cardstock. Again, you can use your label die cuts, you know, cute things like that. Always keep those in mind. I didn't wipe this off, so I'm going to be very careful when I place it. And I like to place it in the top left corner, so all I have to do is cut off the excess on the right and on the bottom. Oh, that's good. Just again, and you can color that in, of course. So you have nice big spaces within the letters that you can definitely color in. So there you go. And again, I'm just going to take this to my paper trimmer and trim about the same amount on this side and on the bottom, and then I'll line it with a black cardstock so that it really pops, and then trim that down too. I'll be right back. How I do that. But again, if this was going to go on a mini slim line, my card base would be 3.5 by 6. That means I would need a piece of cardstock that's 7 by 6, scored at 3.5. I'm going to put that right on there. And then this guy with a little bit of dimensionals, I think would be really cute. And then it just really pops and you have that beautiful background. So just some different fun things. You know, I didn't even try out the glimmer brush or shimmer brush with this one, but how cute would that be, putting in a little shimmer like in your flowers, just in the little flower area over here, or all in the background. You know, I mean, there's so many ways to use this. So fun. And so yeah, I hope that gave you some inspo to kind of jump in, make your backgrounds. You have them ready for all your different cards, and they all come out just gorgeous. So, you know, try it out. All right, let me know how it goes. I will have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.